Yo, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, it's Chew Asia, and if you're not, what the hell is up? So today I'm going to be talking about the multiple instances I have nearly ended up in orgies in Japan, or just weird hoeing experiences that have resulted or almost resulted in some really weird shit. So let's get into it. First thing I want to preface is this all happened because I'm a raging alcoholic, or I was a raging alcoholic, so I blame myself for half of this, and the rest of it I blame on just Japanese men and their communication skills. So without further ado, let's get into it. So yes, today we're talking about the more than one time I nearly ended up in an orgy whilst I was in Kyoto. This has happened at least 3 times, and one of them was, I was more of a witness, like I wasn't involved, but so the first time this happened to me, I was in Chambers, you know, as you are. That place is a cesspool of debauchery, but quite like Zaza, I keep going back. I'm with Bree 90% of the time this shit happens to me. So yeah, I was with Bree, we're in Chambers, you know, drinking, living our best lives, and we get approached, as usual, by some, you know, Nihonjin Samotoko that wanted to, you know, flirt with us, do all of that. And, you know, I was vibing with one of them, I was dancing with him, I don't know what the hell Bree was doing, living her best life as she does. And he was like, oh, do you want to come to, like, an after party? And me being the alcoholic I am, I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Thinking, you know, it's chill, it's normal. He's like, you can bring your friends, because he was there with, like, 3 or 4 guys, you know. I'm pretty sure it was during Golden Week, so I had no school. I had money and way too much free time, which is always a terrible recipe. For anyone that knows me, I can't have time and money because I do stupid shit like this. So eventually it's like, you know, it's winding down 6 o'clock, the club's getting empty, you know, Bree's sobering up, I'm still drunk as hell, everyone else that we're with is still, you know, ridiculously drunk. So when he said, you want to come to this after party, me and my stupid ass was like, yeah, sure, why not? Now, I think he underestimated how good my Japanese is, not to brag, but like, it's decent enough that if you're saying some dodgy shit, I'm gonna know what you're saying. So we're outside the club now waiting for him to get his boys so we can go to this after party, and I don't even know where it was. I didn't ask because I have 0 sense of self-preservation. At the time, I didn't give a fuck. I did not give a single fuck. So it comes down to it now. And they're coming outside, and all I hear is, dare to echi shiyoka? And I'm like, pardon? Even in my drunk state, I was like, see now, I'm not trying to fuck with no one, I was just trying to drink, get my socializing on, whatever. So I'm telling Bree, she's like, what? And I just keep hearing these, like, really dodgy sentences, like, sex party, sex party.
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn.
I don't know what sex party you're talking about, but I know it's got nothing to do with me. So they come over now and they're like, ちょっと待ってね、友達が来るから. And I'm thinking, how many people exactly? Because there are already like 10 of us in total. I don't know which rich boy's house we were going to that even fit 10 of us, because I lived there, I've seen the apartments there. Someone's gonna have money to fit 10 people in their apartment, but whatever. So, you know, we're trying to now wean away from them since we know the intentions are sex party. No. Bree was ready to lose her ever-loving mind, because for someone with the build of a 12-year-old, she is quite ready to fight at all times. But no, we eventually got away from them, so that wasn't a major issue, but it was something that, had I been any drunker, probably would have happened. The second time, that's when the real shit started. I'm not actually going to bother putting concealer on my forehead and, you know, contouring all up there, because you can't see it. Anyway, second time. This time around, I was actually with some school friends who, you know, they like to drink. They're crackheads within themselves, but a different strain to what I am. So we were in Zaza again, as fucking usual, because I am reassuringly predictable and trash, and that's always a dangerous combination. So we're in Zaza. We'd been there, when I say we'd been there for like 5 seconds. Like, I barely sat down. My ass had barely touched the seat. But we sat down by an inch. And then there's just men next to us. And I was a whore. I was a bit of a whore, so I didn't care. I was just like, okay, cool, whatever. And they weren't actually saying anything. They weren't disturbing us, you know. They were just there, talking, living their lives. Two of them had, like, suits on. So I was like, salary men. Those type of men. So, you know, I was expecting to not be disturbed or spoken to, flirted with. None of that number shit. But alas, I'm having a conversation with Taya. You know, we're just talking, complaining about kanji and the various hell forms that it raises in my life. And I just feel like this little... there on, like, my shoulder. I turn around. I'm faced with this man in a grey suit, whose name I will not disclose because we're actually still very close friends. And he just looks at me, dead serious, no expression. He goes, "Ne, oppa misete?" And I'm thinking, now, I've been in here for a minute and 20 seconds. What? And then his friends, I'm thinking his friends are going to tell him to, you know, shut up. You know, hey, you can't say that shit, none of that. But no, his friend's like, 彼はもう32歳けど、童貞やから手伝って。Pardon? I don't know when I became the virgin exterminator, and then I clocked he wasn't even talking to me. He was talking, the oppai misete was towards me. I don't have tits, first of all. I'm ironing board, so I don't know what he was trying to see. But he was asking my friend to take his 32-year-old friend's virginity, which she did not do. She has a man. I set them up. One chef's kiss. Beautiful. But yeah, he was quite persistent that he either wanted to see a titty, lose his virginity, or all of the above. And it just gets worse and worse from that point forward. So yes, continuing on. I'm outside smoking, and one of the guys, there were about 4 of them, I think. Yeah. One of the guys comes up to me, and he was really hot. He was very much my type, you know, tall, nice suit, he had a perm. I'm garbage, yeah. And then he's like, oh, where do you live? You know, Japanese men, when they flirt, at least with foreigners, they have a very formulaic way of conversation before they get into, you know, their intentions. And you actually get into, like, conversation. They have, you know, どこから来ました? 何人ですか? 何歳? なんで日本語喋るの? Like, very formulaic questions before you get anywhere else. So we went in through all of that, and then he asked me where in Japan I was staying. And as I mentioned in my previous video, I lived in backwater fucking nowhere. I lived in Orgy. And by some fucked up miracle of the earth, so did he. So he offered to give me a lift home. But he was like, oh, actually. So yeah, no, he offered to give me a lift home. And he was actually, you know what? No. I'll give you a lift home, but why don't you come over to my place? And already in my head, I'm like, why don't you come over to my place and, you know, I'll bring the others, we can drink, you know, talk, whatever, I want to get to know you more. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I do that, but I left my friends. Like, the rest of my school friends came, they were all still in Zaza living their best lives, but, you know, I was like, deuces. So I went about my business. But before that, we went to karaoke. And by we went to karaoke, I mean we got in that karaoke room and there were like 6 of them already in there. I was the one girl in there out of like 10 guys. And already in my head, I was like, what have you done? And one of them just pulls out this little pocket bullet vibrator. And yeah, some things happened. Things I regret. Do I? Maybe not. Whatever. So that happened. There was, you know, none of them really did anything apart from like 2 of them. I don't know what it is with, and I speak from enough experience to make the statement, Japanese men in the ear licking, but let me shut up. So we leave the karaoke room after being in there for like an hour at best, and the fuckery that went down, and I think it was 6 of us in his car and 2 people already at his place. And this guy had a nice place. Like, I'm talking suite apartment, top floor, balcony. It was huge. So I knew he was making money. Not that I'm that type of person. But yeah, he was making money. We were in his apartment. He had a really cute dog. I was vibing. He gave me some clothes. Let me have a shower. And we were drinking. We were talking. It was normal. My crackhead ass now goes and takes this shower in his gorgeous, massive, like, ensuite bathroom or whatever, minding my business. And then I hear the door open. I'm like, sir, I'm in here, you know, cleaning myself. Can you leave? And it's one of the guys. It's actually not one of the guys. It's the same 32-year-old virgin that asked to see my tits within the first 1 second of bearing witness to my existence. I'm just like, so, can I help you? And he just gets in the bath and just sits there and sits in the bath with me. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I'm hearing chaos. When I say I'm hearing pure chaos from the living room. I'm in the bath with this man, and I'm like, how did I get, what led me to this, how did I get in this position? I'm hearing all sorts of noise from the living room, and I'm like, do I stay in here with this crackhead, or do I go in there and see what's up? I chose the latter, and I regret that. There are just men. Oh, I dropped my blender. Yeah, there were just men. Everywhere. There were about 6 of them, and I know that might not sound like a lot, but when you're the one black girl in a apartment in Orgy with 6 Japanese men with standard Japanese, it feels like a lot, and they've all got their dicks out, all of them. And when I say, it's not even like they were trying to come at me, but they were just walking around butt ass naked. And any of my friends can back me on this because they've seen the evidence. Butt ass naked, not clothes in sight, just everywhere. And I was expecting, you know, I was like, oh, I'm about to lose my life, something dodgy's gonna happen. No. I sat down on the bed and watched anime whilst they just walked around groping each other. I was like, am I a gay porn shoot? Is this a JGB? What's happening? Because they were just walking around touching each other, like playing with each other. How do I get in these situations? And then one of them comes, and I love him. I'm really close friends with these people now. Like, I've hung out with them. I'm in a group chat with them. They're really, really great. They're just really, really weird. One of them comes over, and he comes, I don't know if he came here like this or he got changed in the elevator, but he was standing there in like his jeans and like a hoodie and women's underwear with a period stain on them. Don't know where he got them, why he had them on, and no one said anything. They would just take it like doing a whole photo shoot. And I was like, can someone please tell me what's going on? And I was like visibly confused. But did anyone give a fuck? No. Later on in the evening, they go to get, you know, food because we're hungry. We've been drinking since God knows how long, and it's like 3 a.m. at this point. And I've just been sitting here watching anime on this man's flat screen whilst, you know, these men play with each other's nether regions for whatever reason on God's green earth. So they go and get food, and I'm left alone once again with the 32-year-old virgin, who at this point, I think it's been like a good year. I don't think he's a virgin anymore. I fucking hope not. He proceeded to perform the eating of this for whatever. I don't ask me why I let it happen, but I did. It was good. It was good. Whilst he is, you know, going to town, the rest of them come back, and I'm like, in my head, I'm screaming, I'm like, this is so embarrassing. Someone's gonna say something. This is when the dodgy shit starts. Once again, no one gave a fuck. What's happening? But no one gave a fuck. They were just talking to me whilst it, like, casual conversation is happening whilst this is going on. No one's saying anything. No one's addressing it. He doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's just, you know, doing his, going ham, not giving a shit. Butt ass naked as well. He never put clothes on. From the minute he got in the bath, the entire night he did not have clothes on. But yeah, no one seemed to care. No, so me being me, I also stopped caring. And I talked to the girls, you know, we were talking, just, you know, getting to know each other, and they're really great, they're really sweet, and they're really normal. Well, 3 of them. 3 of the ones I'd met at the time. So I don't know how the hell they put up with them lot and their crackhead antics, but they did, and they're really sweet. I eventually pass out because I'm mentally and physically exhausted. And the next morning, as promised, he does in fact take me home. Well, actually, he doesn't take me home because he doesn't have a car. His friend, the one that rolled up in the period-stained underwear, over his jeans, bear in mind, he took me home. And he took me home with the owner of the apartment, who just wanted to see me off, make sure I got back home safe. So, as I said, crackheads, but very sweet people. And the, once again, 32-year-old virgin. who I'm sitting in the back of the car with him. I'm smoking, you know, giving the guy directions how to take me back in the worst possible Japanese because I struggle. That's when my Japanese truly is garbage because I'm like migi hitari masugu itte. Like I'm trash when it comes to that sort of stuff. So I'm sitting in the back car minding my business, and once again, my boy, my 32-year-old virgin king, whips his dick out in the back of the car. It's broad daylight. It's like 7 in the morning. And people, you know, it's Japan, so people are already on their way to work. We could stop in traffic. Someone could cross the road, look in these windows that are by no means tinted, and just see him in the back of the car, like... And I'm, like, sitting there, like... So, surely now, of all times, someone is gonna say something. No? No, not a damn thing. So, at this point, I'm fed up now, in the sense that I needed to address it, like... Why are you not saying anything about this? どうした?車の中でオナニーしてる。問題じゃないか?別に Okay. At the end of the day, it's not my car. It's not my dick. It's not my seats. So, I let him do his thing. As long as he didn't try to get me to do anything. I didn't give a shit because I was trying to go home and pass out. And eventually, I went home and passed out. And that was that. Now, the third time. Same people, and this was after I met the love of my life, King Tanaka Daiki. We were in Zaza once again, you know, chilling, vibing, and I ran into them. And at this point, I've been in the group chat with them since the first time I met them, with all of that. I'd met a lot more of the girls. We'd been to Osaka, I'd hung out, they're great. And he was like, oh, we're actually going to have a sushi party at my place after we're done drinking here, and everyone else just turns up if you want to come. I don't eat sushi. I'm not a big fish fan. I eat like shellfish, crayfish. But I'm not like a big sushi fan, especially the raw fish thing. It's not for me. But I wanted to hang out with them because I missed them. I missed the girls more than anything. So I agreed, and I brought Daiki. Daiki's a very strange boy, but he's not that type of strange. So I thought, surely, if something goes down, finally someone's gonna be like, what the fuck? Even he let me down. I'm marrying this man. He didn't give a fuck. So we're talking whatever, and my boy, 32-year-old virgin, the king, rolls up and once again is butt naked. And this time, everyone else has their clothes on. No one else is getting naked or whatever. And there's this girl who I hadn't met before. She wasn't in the group chat at the time. I think she was younger than me. She was legal, but she was younger than me. She was really quiet, really small, really cute. So I was like, I need to protect her from whatever this is, especially with... I said his name. Especially him, Virgin King, as I'll now be calling him, who would not leave her alone the whole night. Not that she didn't seem particularly uncomfortable, but she seemed really, really soft. So I couldn't tell if it was her personality or she actually didn't care. But me and Daiki was sitting there, you know, he was getting to know them. Obviously, I already know them. So I was talking with the girls, smoking cigarettes, by the way, because I know someone's going to take that out of context. And I look over to my left, and Virgin King is on the floor with his cheeks spread, just like a fucking Thanksgiving turkey, just whoop. Yeah, cheeks spread out for the Lord, whilst my girl, the soft baby, well, what I thought was a soft baby, is like 3 fingers deep in his ass. She's got like a condom on her fingers, and she's just going at it, like... And she hasn't said, like, I think she said, like, 3 words the entire night. She introduced herself to me. She called me pretty. And she gave me her line. And I think that's the most conversation I had with her. So I'm now looking at, you know, my boy, the love of my life, my king, my Daiki, to see his reaction. Because I'm thinking, okay, this has got to get a reaction out of you. Because, once again, I'm in a by proxy orgy situation. And this time, I'm in it with my boyfriend. So... nothing. He was just continuing talking about the gym, the fucking gym. He's talking about the gym, talking about his workout routines to one of the guys, the owner of the house, and just living his best life. And I'm like, elbowing him, like, he's like, oh, すごいな, すげえ, やばくね? やばくね, my blood. Am I the weird one? Is it me? Maybe it's me. So I'm thinking, okay, this is as weird as it's gonna get tonight, that's fine. I was wrong. I'm always wrong. Slowly but surely, everyone starts getting more and more naked, and one of the girls I'm really close to, very small, adorable girl, she is getting plowed like a rice farm in the main room. There's this guy has like 3 bedrooms in an apartment, bear in mind. I told you it's a nice apartment. She could have gone in one of the rooms. No, she stayed in the living room with like the other 12 of us and just out in the open, not even a blanket. She was just, and no one batted an eyelash, no one said anything. At this point, just assume that no one acknowledges anything because they don't. And then, as I said, my girl's still on the floor, you know, 3, 4, 5. She, at one point, I'm pretty sure after we left, she probably reached a whole fist. Still hasn't said a whole thing about the entire night, by the way. So that was happening, and then, yeah, people just started banging left, right, and center in this apartment, whilst me, one girl, and Ike just sit on this bed once again and just have regular conversation. So, yeah, I sat there, and I was an innocent bystander in the orgy part 2, because that's what it was. I wasn't involved. I didn't do nothing except, you know, huddle up to my mans. But, yeah, I just witnessed a lot that night. And you think after that I'd stop talking to these people? No, every day. I'm still in London, but I still have conversation with these people every day, because as strange, god-awful strange as they are still wonderful people. So yeah, I keep ending up in these strange situations with men who either can't take a hint or don't give a fuck. Or, in the case of my group chat squad, a very large combination of both of those things. That's the Lord telling me to shut up. Yeah, a very strange combination of both of those things. But yeah, so, I hope you guys enjoyed me talking about the fucked up situations I keep putting myself in for no reason on God's green earth. So I was supposed to film this one 2 weeks ago after I did the Instagram poll, and it didn't happen. But I've done it now, in the midst of a storm, because I need to distract myself, because thunder makes me cry. But yeah, subscribe, like the video, go check out my Instagram, my Twitter. My Twitter's kind of a mess, but yeah. Go look at my other videos. I do reaction videos, I do dance stuff. Go subscribe to ODC, which is the K-pop cover group that actually, it's not a K-pop cover group, the dance group that I am in. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Mata ne?